Hello, my lovelies. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on wherever you're tuning in from. This is your girl, Nupur, Chef Nupur. I'm the owner of Queen's Curry Kitchen, a meal delivery service right here in New York City. I'm also a culinary instructor, so I teach Indian cooking. And if you are someone who loves flavors, this is the right place that you should be right now. You're seeing me from my kitchen in Queens, where I make curry, hence the name Queen's Curry Kitchen. It's a tiny and cozy kitchen, and I thought that I'm doing my meal prep for my family for this week, so I should totally bring you guys in. Right, today on the menu we have three items. We have a chicken pulao, we have chicken kadai, we have a chicken soup, we also have a dal, chana dal tadka, and I have some bitter gourd chips or Karela chips in the air fryer. So the purpose of this video is really to show you how the appliances in my kitchen really come together for me to be able to make this thing it took me almost just an hour and a half to make this from start to finish, including chopping, cutting, and everything. I still have to clean up after myself. That's a different topic for a different video, but I'll show you all the dishes that I made today, and I hope that you'll get inspiration from it. Sometimes you just feel like you're stuck in a rut, and it helps to see someone else who's doing something and you can get some meal ideas. So I would really love it if you can get inspired by something that I make. If you have any questions about any of the recipes or any of the dishes that you see on this live, definitely drop it in the chat comments. Even if you're catching the replay, definitely comment on it. I will respond individually to each and every comment. And if you want me to make something just for you on a live feed, let me know that as well. I'm happy to make that for you as well. Okay, so if you're a flavor lover, definitely follow this page, hit your notifications and turn them on so that every time I'm going live, you'll get notified and you can jump on in and catch the action. All right, so let's start with the first dish. The first dish that I made today is a chicken pulao. This is what it looks like. There you go. I have used chicken legs. You can see they're beautifully embedded in the rice. The rice is very flavorful. I've actually pan fried the chicken and seared it to get a beautiful color. Like you can see, it has a beautiful color. And then I've removed it from the flame. Then I've sauteed some onions, tomatoes, ginger, and garlic, and added my aromatics and my spices from my trusted masala box. This has everything that you ever need to cook Indian food. And then I've on the other side, I've washed and soaked the rice for about 10 minutes. I'm using basmati rice, but you can use any other kind of rice you want. You just have to know how much water to put for how much rice. And I've literally made it in this wok. I haven't even used a rice cooker for this. If you're making it in an open flame in a wok like this, you're going to need about double the amount of water to rice. Try to keep the chicken fairly dry when it has the onions and the tomatoes. Try to really cook it with a little bit of water at a time and generate some steam. Also, pre-frying the chicken ensures that it's not got that raw taste. And then when you add the chicken broth, or in my case, I just added water and some chicken cubes. You can add chicken broth or chicken bouillon. Do that and then allow the water to come to a good simmer before you add your drained, washed, soaked rice. Okay, so if you have 2 cups of rice, I've used a cup and a half of rice, so I've used 3 cups of water, and I waited for it to come to a boil. Then I added the salt to make sure that it was salty enough. How you know if your water is salty enough to make the rice well seasoned is that the water should actually taste like tears. So the saltiness of the water should taste like tears. That's when you know that your rice will come out tasting really good. Rice is a starch, and of course it soaks up a lot of water. I also added the aromatics of cloves, cinnamon sticks, green cardamom and black cardamom, and bay leaves to the oil when I first started frying the chicken. That was to infuse the oil with all these flavors. After the rice cooks, these things usually float to the top, so you can actually just weed them out so that they don't end up in anyone's mouth. Okay, that can seem a little daunting. If you're Indian, you're probably used to biting on a cardamom or something, but if you're not Indian, it can be pretty daunting, right? So you can see the rice is all fully cooked and nice and fluffy. You have to cook this rice uncovered and allow it to boil and simmer. Also add your usual spices. I like to add a little pav bhaji masala to this just to give it that little edge of a taste so that it doesn't fall flat. Some people like to add a little curry leaf. Some people like to add kasuri methi or dry fenugreek herbs. It really depends on what flavor profile you're going for, but it's so easy. I've added a little bit of the tomato puree, which is store-bought. I also added a little bit of my master curry sauce. This is the curry sauce that I make at all times and keep handy in my kitchen, and I pretty much use it in a lot of my curry dishes. It has already got onions, tomatoes, ginger, garlic, all of the whole spices, and then I've boiled it and churned it in the blender so it's nice and smooth. This gives me a good starting point for all of the flavor profiles that I'm trying to create. Okay, and then just allow this to cook uncovered. When you see all of the water evaporating and you'll see little holes and wells on the surface of the rice, that's when you go in and cover it, and then turn it down all the way to its lowest setting. After about 5 to 7 minutes, turn off the heat, but don't remove the cover. That's when you know that you're going to get nice fluffy basmati rice. The chicken is also fully cooked. There's another clove. So these will keep popping up even as you're plating it. And then when you're ready to plate it, don't just go digging into it. That's not the way to scoop this out. You just lift off the chicken pieces very gingerly and then shake off the rice like this. You can see it's not a very oily dish. You just shake off the rice a little bit to separate it. You can also use a fork to fluff it up. And so when you're plating the dish for someone, just scoop out all the rice and put that in the plate, and then top it with the piece of chicken. You can also do this with boneless chicken, but I feel like chicken on the bone creates a really nice broth for the rice, and it gives it an added flavor. You can also use chicken broth, you can use chicken bouillon. So that's my first dish. Hey Melanie, hey Sharon, good morning, good morning. How you guys doing today? So this is already done. I will be serving this with a raita. I usually try to get in the kitchen on Monday and make 3 to 4 dishes so that I don't have to get again in the kitchen till about Thursday or so, and that serves me really well. We're a family of 3, sometimes 2, right? This is my karai chicken, again made with chicken thighs, and I bought the tray of chicken thighs from the supermarket, and I've taken the boneless pieces off of it to make the karai chicken. You can see there are ginger juliennes in there, there are bell peppers, there's onion petals. This is not a very saucy dish because it's supposed to be eaten with the Indian flatbread, roti, paratha or naan. So it doesn't have too much sauce, but it definitely has the crunch of the bell peppers. It has the onions. And into this, I add my karai masala, which is a combination of fennel seeds, cumin seeds, crushed red peppers, dry fenugreek herbs, coriander seeds, and dry red chilies. Everything is dry roasted and then coarsely ground. And then I add it at the time of sauteing the onions and the tomatoes. I've also added a little bit of the master sauce to this, but every dish will taste different because of the aromatics that you're adding. This is supposed to be a very tangy, kind of tomatoey, but still you should taste the bell pepper coming through. It has ginger, it has garlic, so all of those tastes definitely come through. So these are the 2 chicken dishes that I've made. Now I'm gonna have to get you off this hook to show you what else is going on in my kitchen. So here I have my Instant Pot that did the job for me. So those 2 dishes I cooked on the stove top. This is something I made in my Instant Pot. This is a chana dal tadka, which is Bengal grams that have been boiled and then tempered with onions, tomatoes, ginger, garlic, cumin seeds. I'm going to go ahead and add a generous amount of cilantro to it. I will serve it with some ginger julienne. This can be eaten with rice or with roti, whatever you have going on. So this is one of the gadgets that works for me. Another thing that I did today was actually in my air fryer, and I made, look at this. This is bitter gourd or Karela chips. They're not very crisp. They're pretty flexible and pliable, you can see. All I did was I cut them into thin slices. This is from my daughter's best friend's mom's kitchen garden. So she actually gave me these, and I cut them into thin rings. I just tossed them with some salt and turmeric powder, and then I air fried it on the French fry setting. So this is only half of what she gave me. The other half is still in the fridge. I'll probably boil it and make something out of it because I love boiled Karela with my dal and rice. So I might do that. You can see if it gets charred, it can go up to this much charring. I didn't add too much oil, so I guess that's why it's not that crisp, and I don't even want it so crisp. So this is perfect for me. This is the air fryer working for me. So the Instant Pot, the air fryer, they do their job. And then the third dish that I made today is a chicken soup. These are the same chicken thighs. I took out the sides with the boneless parts and I put that in the kadai chicken. And this is what I'm left with. So this is something I simmered in my slow cooker with, I started it out with cold water and then brought it up to a boil. Now I'm going to shred this chicken and use it for tacos tomorrow, for like pulled chicken tacos. I'm going to put the stock in the freezer. I'm going to use it for maybe chicken noodle soup or chicken dumpling soup or something like that. Or maybe the next time I'm making a chicken pulao, I can use this as the chicken broth. So there's several uses that we can put this to. This is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that I prepped today for my family. I hope it gave you some kind of inspiration as to what you can do. All of this took me a little less than 2 hours. I do still have to do the cleanup. And like put all the dishes in the dishwasher, etc. That stuff I still have to do. That's another maybe like 20 minutes of my time. But this ensures that I don't have to get into the kitchen